Hey, Maneesh here. If you watched episode 1, you know an agent is a model running in a loop with tools. If you're jumping in cold, that's fine. We are going to build one from scratch and it will make sense by the end. Last episode, I said this was the pattern, and few of them replied to me, okay, but show me the code. So that's what we are doing today. And I'm not going to hand you a framework and say use this. We are building one from scratch. About 60 lines, no line chain, no magic. By the end, you'll understand every line because you're typing them with me. I built this so we could feel the actual difference between one shot LLM and a real agent and not a diagram, but as a code running in front of you. And then we are going to break it and fix it so you feel how it works, not just understand it conceptually. So grab your editor, let's go. One file, it does three things. It calls the model, it lets the model use tools, and it loops until the job's done with a hard stop so it can't run away. Two small tools to keep it honest. One that tells the model today's date and a calculator, simple on purpose. The loop is the lesson, not the tools. This pattern has a name. It's from 2022 paper called React, Reasoning and Acting by Yaw and colleagues. The idea was instead of making the model reason or act, you interleave them. It reasons, takes an action, looks at results, and reasons again. Anthropic's own Building Effective Agents write up puts it even more plainly. An agent is a model using tools in a loop based on feedback from its environment. That sentence is our program. I'll link both below. So, before we get started, the first thing that I want everyone of us to do is to go to the respective URL, console.anthropic.com, sign in with your account or sign up with your account, and then once you come in here, you'll generally see that the credits would be zero in case if you haven't enrolled. So you can add funds, add a minimum of $5 fund to it. And then once you have done with it, just click on get API key and you'll get a respective API key. So we'll see how this API key we are going to render in our respective code. But this becomes a prerequisite for us to use this tokens for our respective LLM. And then what do we do is we start with first creating a virtual environment. So if you're new to, if you are already are aware of Python, so you could be able to understand that for any Python based project, we need to install a virtual environment, activate a virtual environment, and then we would go ahead and install our dependencies. So I've already installed this. You can see my virtual environment is also activated. You can follow based on Mac, Linux, or Windows as per the steps. So we'll go ahead and install Anthropic. And once that is done, the second step is going to be to export your Anthropic API key. And here you can copy the respective key that you would have generated from the console and paste it here and then run it in the conda. I've already done that. So the next step is the same file. How do you run this? So ensure that you're part of this file. So you could go ahead and do a copy path and do CD and then part of it so that you are already part of this respective folder. The next thing is just run a Python command and it would run your respective code. But before doing that, let's go deep dive into code and understand much more in detail and then we get started. First, let's feel the problem. Here's a normal one-shot call, no tools. I'll ask you something that depends on today and needs real arithmetic. How many days until New Year 2027 in hours? So for this, I have used simple plain LLM function, which is just going to use my model token. I've just given a role and a prompt for me. And based on this prompt itself, it is going to take that and give me an answer. So if you see this, this is a call that is going to happen to give me a respective task. So let me just run this piece and show it to you. So if I just give Python and my file name, that is tinyagent.py here, it will just do a plain LLM call. So basically here, it just give me a respective thing to do yourself. Find today's date, count number of days between this and multiplies, and then it give a formula. So as you have seen that what exactly it's going to do is it either guess the date or hedge it, and math is shaky, not because the model's dumb, because it has no clock, it's running doing arithmetic in its head and it can't check heading. So that's the ceiling of one shot. Now, the next thing that I want us to work on is to define a tool. Now, a tool is in two halves. The first half, one is going to be a plain Python function where we are going to see basically calculators. So this for tools here, I've just given my calculator, which is just going to evaluate my respective expressions. Then the second component is going to get me the current date, and these functions are nothing but plain function and just code. So these two halves a little JSON schema that describes each tool basically that you can see over here for get current date and calculator. And if you see the description is what is doing the real work here. It's the only thing that the model reads to decide when to reach for this tool. So write it like a hint to a smart colleague. Notice the calculators uses a safe evaluator, not eval. Never handle a raw eval to something that takes the model generator input. Here's the whole agent. Walk with me. Uh, First, what we are going to do is if you see a message list with a task that we have defined, and then what we do is we go step by step and then we loop. Each turn we send conversation and the tools to the model, and we look at what comes back. If the model didn't ask for the tool, it's done, and we print the answer and then stop. If it did ask, we did which tool and which inputs run that Python function and hand the result back to the tool result, and then we go round and round again. So based on that, if you see the messages dot append over here, this predominantly is going to append the model's turns, then append the tool results as the next message. That growing list is the agent's working memory for this task. Next turn, the model sees what the tool returned and decides what to do with it. And for the next set of items that we are going to discuss is on the failure, basically how to handle that. So, and the tools fail in the real time. So so if you see the try and except block here, so uh, so when a tool fails in the real life, and when one throws, we catch it and pass the error back to the model as a result with is error. The model can read that field and try another way, which is half of why agents feel robust. So let's try to run this part in our respective code now. I'll comment the plain LLM task and uncomment the agent task now to see the same task being done now by an agent. So if you see here, while it is running, uh, same question as before, what's the trace? So model thinks, it asks for get current date, we run it, hand back data, it thinks, now it knows the date, okay, it asks the calculator for the day count, observes the number, asks the calculator again to turn days into hours, and only now does it answer. That's the loop that you're talking about, that we're talking about for plan, act, observe, repeat until done. Notice it changed two calls and use the result of one to feed the next. That's the thing a chatbot can't do. It's not answering from memory. It's gathering ground truth at each step and adjusting. Try your own task here. Give it a different date, a harder calculation, watch it figure out the order itself. You didn't write first do this, then that. It planned that. Now let's talk about the guardrail. One line I want you to never delete, that is max steps. A loop that can call tools again. In principle, loop forever, or rack up a bill. So we can cap it. If it hits the cap, we stop and say so. This is the simplest version of a real concern we'll spend a whole episode on later, keeping agents on leash. So why does LangGraph or AutoGen exist if it's this short? They add the boring but important stuff at scale. State you can persist, retries, branching, multiple agents, observability. But the best guidance is to start simple and only add a framework when you actually feel the pain of it. So you now understand what these frameworks are wrapping, which means you'll use them better, not blindly. That's it. 60 lines, a real agent, the loop, two tools, the guardrail. If you followed along and built it, you now understand what every framework you have ever seen is wrapping. And that's the whole point. Here's what comes next. Episode 3 will give you the agent tools that touch the real world, actual search, actual files, actual APIs. Things get a lot more useful and a little more spicy. So, subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you're serious about building this stuff, the book I mentioned last episode goes much deeper. It covers enterprise patterns, error handling at scale, multi-agent orchestration, governance, all the stuff you run into when it goes to production. All three versions are available in the description. If you grab it, leave a review. It actually helps me. See you in episode 3.